Good morning. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm starting this channel a little bit messy. So I am in my van. It is a camper van that I built out, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago, and I lived in full time for like 3 years. I'm renovating it, but it still has a desk and some of my stuff in it. So me and my dog came to this park to go for a walk. And I thought I would start recording here. So today is October 1st, and I made the decision last night to start the Miracle Morning 30-Day Challenge. Another YouTuber that I follow read the book, and she was going to start, I think this month. And I don't know, yesterday I was just online. I've been struggling a little bit with feeling like I'm making the steps to move my life forward. I experienced some burnout. I'm a marketer, a copywriter. I experienced some burnout and just wanted to get back to living my life in a way that makes sense to me, and like building my own business and doing some of those things, and just had a lot of fear coming up of over delivering and getting into burnout again. So I know that these, like what I call anchor challenges, kind of like anchor habits, really help me to start making progress and stop focusing on the fear and the things that lock me up. So I'm hoping that by doing this challenge and starting to get a better morning routine that includes specifically more meditation and visualization for me, will be the catalyst for me to see other big changes in my life. So I haven't read the book, but how the challenge works is I did all of the kind of, I found this online, I'll link it down in the descriptions, of like setting your vision, like what are some of the fears that come up for you. It's not that different from some of the other self-development work I've done in the past, but I went through everything so that I was in the right mindset. Because one of the things that I struggle with, that I'm recognizing is, as one of my high saboteurs being a people pleaser, is that I'm not always clear on what I want in life, and that's been a real journey for me, is to just owning what I want and what I want my life to look like, and being really open about that. So not even running away and hiding and doing it in secret, so that I don't feel like I have that external pressure that I'm putting on myself to perform. But just like, what do I really want my life to look like if I'm really honest? And I really got pulled in the marketing space I was in, into this hustle bro kind of mentality. And because part of my belief system is that it's important to be a hard worker, it really felt like if I wasn't hustling and being busy and living up to this expectation of always performing and not doing the fun stuff and just like nose to the grindstone all the time, that I was lazy and I'm not a hard worker. So I'm working on overcoming that. But what the list of things that you're supposed to do, that you get to do for the Miracle Morning, is you do silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. I'm allowing it to be messy and figuring it out, especially in these first couple of days, because to me, I think that there's going to be an order that's going to feel a lot more aligned to me, especially with a visualization that maybe it looks like reading that slowly kind of pulls me into that state. So maybe it's reading, affirmations, that silence and money meditation that rolls into journaling, that then rolls into that visualization, followed by exercise and all of that. And maybe it looks like I jump out of bed and just exercise and get that done. I do like to bring my dog to this park, and it doesn't open until sunrise, and I'm often up before them. So I'm kind of figuring out that schedule, but that is what we are up to. And I'm so excited to take you on this journey with me. So thank you for being here, and I'm excited to see what the next 30 days looks like. While I'm I'm grinding my coffee beans, I thought I would maybe share a little bit about me so we can get to know each other a little bit better. I don't know if I mentioned it before, my name is Amy Gravely. I am 39 years old, going on 40. I'll be turning 40 in November. And I honestly don't have a whole lot of attachment to age or aging. I remember when I turned 30, and it's really more just like, like, that's weird. That's what 30 feels like. I didn't expect it to feel like this. I get why people are like, oh, I don't feel like I'm 40. And I don't know if that's true for me. I don't know that I would say I don't feel like 40 because what does 40 feel like? I'm 40. I'm about to be 40. I guess this is what it feels like for me. But I do think that with aging, I have just gotten... I want to take care of myself more, so I'm thinking a lot more about, like, working out through the frame of wanting to look good, of course, but just longevity in mind. I see so many aging people that aren't as active or aren't as able to be active, and sometimes that's from reasons that they can't help. Maybe they have, arthritis or pain or whatever, but I want to do as much as I can to... My grandmother was really active into her 80s when she passed, and that's just the kind of life I want to live. I want to still be able to hike. I want to take care of my body. I do have some knee pain, so working on supporting that joint more, so doing workouts around that. I'm getting into running more because it just... Honestly, when I'm in a running routine recently, it's not something that's easy for me. It just makes me kind of feel like a winner. Like, if I can commit to that and do that consistently, then it makes other hard things just feel kind of easy. And for whatever reason, sometimes those physical things are a little bit easier for me to commit to than the creative or mental things. Because I can go for a run and be like, yep, I did that. It was hard, I didn't want to do it, and I still did it, so it just frames the rest of my day. I bought this van that I'm sitting in. It's an old 1998 Dodge B1500 Ram for $1,500, like maybe more than 5 years ago, and I was living on the property I grew up with in just rural Alabama, and my dad used to build... he was a landlord, and he built houses on our property, so we actually had, some scrap wood and stuff, so I built a lot of it just from things I found around on the property, and then just supplemented with buying wood and, like, insulation as I needed it. So, like, this desk that I'm sitting at was actually... A lot of the wood was either scrap or was pieced from a desk that my dad and I made from wood that was milled actually on our property, so that was kind of cool. This I'm touching here, it's like a cabinet type thing. Some of it is made from this tabletop that was at a coffee shop I loved in Birmingham, and they were taking it out, and I was like, oh, what are y'all doing with that? And she was like, nothing, if you were just gonna throw it away. If you come back tomorrow, you can have it. So I loaded it up in the van, and it was actually a countertop in my van for a while. The layout is actually pretty different than a little different than when I was living in it full time. I actually stripped everything out of it and was going to do some renovations. Like, my power system needs an upgrade. It didn't have good insulation. I wanted to move the bed to the back. It was running along the length of the side. So just some little things that I just wanted to kind of start over. And then I had an opportunity to work for a dream client in Miami, and she wanted me to be, even though some of the work was kind of hybrid remote type stuff, she wanted me to be close. So I threw everything back in the van. I like having the structures because it made me packing things a little bit easier, and went down and lived in Miami for like a year and a half, and just decided that, you know, living in a city wasn't really for me. I have a dog and he's reactive, and it was just hard. It was hard going on walks and stuff like that. I had some really, really close friends, and it was a beautiful time to connect with them and go deeper in some of my self-development work. But I ultimately decided I wanted to get back in the van. I might eventually move up near my sister in Virginia. And I'm taking advantage of staying with my parents for a little while. They've always kind of been a base camp for me, and since doing some of my self-development work, I've really been intentional about building my familial relationships with my parents and my brothers and my brother and sister. So it's been really beautiful to get to know them as an adult and strengthen those relationships and just really enjoy their company. You know, my dad just turned 70 this year, so getting to just be with them, and I know that one day when they're not here anymore, I will never have spent enough time with them. I won't have spent enough time that I'm like, yeah, that was it. I checked it. You know, once they're gone, I'm gonna always want more time with them. So, what a beautiful opportunity to get to spend some time with them. So, that's what I'm doing, is I'm kind of rebuilding my business. So I did experience some burnout as a copywriter, and over delivering for clients, and just trying to really prove my worth through work, and feeling like, you know, if I didn't perform at a certain level, or, you know, dedicate enough time, that, you know, I wasn't lovable. I wouldn't be loved, which, you know, saying that sounds a little wild and crazy. You know, it's not like I'm actively thinking that, but that's, you know, what was running me. So I am working on building my own business. I have a couple of ideas. The foundation of my finances will come from an HVAC email agency that I'm working on building right now. That's one of the big things I'm doing. And then we'll see where this YouTube channel goes, because I'd really love to inspire other women that just want to live their life on fire and outside the constraints of what society tells us we should want or do. That maybe I can inspire women to try new things and do things that scare them. I tend to not have some of the traditional fears of a lot of women, like moving into my van and living on the road. Never really scared me. I do have, I don't know where he's sitting. Oh, you can't see him. A reactive dog that barks at everybody, so that does help as a woman. I don't really fear living in the van in that way, partly because I have him, so that's nice. But other than that, yeah, like I tend to follow my curiosities. I've lived a crazy, adventurous life by most people's standards. I was a skydiver for 8 years, professional skydiver for 8 years. I thought I was going to be a large animal vet when I first went to college. I've gone to law school. I decided I didn't want to practice law, and got into copywriting and working remotely, which allowed me to live this lifestyle. So just a lot of cool things that I hope to get to share with you guys as we get to know each other on this channel, and I'm sure more will come out. If you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll read them and respond if I feel called to, and I'm so happy to have everybody here. Now I'm going to finish making this coffee. I'm going to use my phone as a timer, and I will catch back up with you guys and let you know how this week is going with the Miracle Morning. Alrighty, day 1, getting my exercise in. Alright, exercise is done for the day.
So share this with a friend if you would like. Make sure before you head out, you give the video a thumbs up, and then subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Alright, it's about 5:50. Got up right at 5 o'clock, fed Siku, and went ahead and did a workout. This morning I just did a 15-minute Sydney Cummings workout. It was actually pretty good. My expectations were rather low. I didn't get started till really late yesterday after doing all my tasks and getting back from the park and still needing to run. So I'm trying to switch things up today and wanted a little bit shorter workout. So did that, showered. Now I'm out on the porch, about to read my Expert Secrets books. I'm gonna try to show it to you. Expert Secrets. I'm gonna start reading that because we can't go to the park until it's light out. So hopefully I'll get my reading done, and then after walking Siku, I can go ahead and do my meditations, my journaling, and all of that at the park. And I think it's gonna work out a lot better. My goal is to have eaten breakfast and be working by 8, and I think I might go to a coffee shop this morning. So hopefully that works out. See you in a bit. All right, it is day 2. Just wanted to update you on my morning. It is taking another longer morning. I was thinking that I might jump into work sooner today, and honestly, I probably will sooner than I did yesterday. But I'm doing this miracle morning to create more intentionality in my mornings. And because I have the flexibility in my work schedule that I do, being a freelancer, I don't mind that my mornings are maybe extending a little bit longer as I play around with these different intentionalities throughout the morning that Miracle Morning recommends. But if you're watching this and you were thinking about doing Miracle Morning, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have like 2 hours or 3 hours to do meditations and visualizations and stuff like that. You don't have to do it this way. There are a lot of ways that you can condense this down into 30 minutes or an hour. Like I did a 15-minute workout this morning, but you could get up and set a timer for 5 minutes and do jumping jacks. I am doing guided meditation that actually has affirmations built into it. So if I wanted to, I could choose to have that 15-minute meditation be my silence, my affirmations, and even if I chose the right one, that it could even be my visualization for my day. I am doing 2 separate meditations there. A lot of my time is spent taking my dog on a walk at this park that I love to take a walk at, and that takes up a good bit of my morning. But this morning I even chose, when I was walking, to instead of turning on my headphones, listening to an audiobook, I chose to kind of have my moment of silence even in that. So when my mind would drift to what I was going to be sharing with you guys, or to what I need to get done for the day, I would catch those thoughts and bring myself back into the moment, because this park is just so beautiful. There's this lake and there's ducks and the Canadian geese are coming in, and the mornings have been just a little cooler, which I'm a big fan of fall, so that's been beautiful. So bringing myself back to that moment was really special for me this morning, and kind of unlocking that. Yesterday morning I chose to do my affirmations during that time. So this morning I did wake up and I jumped right into working out, and I really loved that, because since I do like to come to this park, it allowed me to get a workout in, get my reading done before we even left, and that felt like a better use of my time. And took Siku for a walk and did my my money meditation and my ideal meditation, which I'm counting as my silence and my visualization. So for affirmations this morning, I'm still doing those level 10 because that's what I committed to, but I think I'm going to write them down this morning, and in the future I'll decide whether I want to actually write those down each morning or say them, and that might change from morning to morning, but I don't like having them on my phone. I like to have some separation from my phone. And I was thinking about that when I finished up my ideal day meditation, and how my personal ideal day doesn't include being on social media at all. It's not me scrolling my phone when I have downtime. It is growing this channel. It is maybe writing a book, or doing more freelance work and working at my computer. But when I have my free time, it really looks like being outside, doing adventurous things, or spending time with my parents or friends or loved ones, playing backgammon or chess, or reading a book, or exploring with Siku. So I thought that was really interesting, because I am trying to create some separation between like Facebook and Instagram. I do enjoy being intentional with my time on YouTube, and hopefully this channel will grow into something that I love, because I'm really excited about that, and about growing a community of women, and allowing this channel to be a touch point for inviting maybe you into a community of women that are just on fire for life. Maybe you're growing your business, maybe you're wanting to do more adventurous things like scuba dive with whales, which is one of my personal things that I'm really wanting to do, and finding that a community of women that are maybe living outside of what society, the recipe society has for a lot of us, and just having that inspiration and that motivation and that space you can come to if you're living somewhere that maybe you don't have those types of people around you. So that's kind of my dream, and that's what I'm going to leave it off with for today. And I'm going to go ahead and write these affirmations down. I think that's my last thing for Miracle Morning, and I'm going to head to a coffee shop and get my workday started. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's 5 a.m. I just woke up and brushed my teeth, and I do not feel like going for a run right now, but I think I'm gonna go get some water, wake up a little bit more, and then go on and get started. Knock it out. I know I'll feel better once I get started. All right, my day 3 workout is done. As you can see, it's pretty dark out here. I know for a lot of people, especially women, don't like running in the dark, and that's fine. It doesn't really bother me. I'm in a neighborhood that's pretty safe. I've really never had a lot of fear around that. I try to be safe. I have bone conducting headphones as opposed to earbuds. But yeah, I was tired this morning. I did not want to be out here running or get up and run, but that's one thing that I do love about running. It always makes me feel like a champion or a winner. It gets my day started right, and even just having that one decision that I made for me and kept that commitment to myself just really sets the tone for the rest of my day. So I love that, and yeah, I'm gonna go inside, take a shower, head on to reading. All right, it's like 6:15. I'm out here reading my 10 pages of books just on the porch. Doing a 30-minute run, and then my shower did take a little bit longer this morning, so I'm gonna blast through these pages so that we can go ahead and get to the park and continue our morning. We just had some new Canadian geese arrivals on the pond here. They just landed. Got some ducks going on over there too. And we still have our lone silly goose duck here. He's just been swimming out in the middle and honking, even though I assume these are all his friends over here, but you know, maybe not. I love it when the Canadian geese start coming to town. So much fun. Here's my own little silly goose. So these affirmations that I'm doing, they're the level 10 affirmations. They're pretty long. Yesterday I decided to handwrite them down because it's pretty small on my phone and I wanted to be able to read them, but it felt so powerful to me to actually write them down that I think that I'm going to write them down some days. If I'm really pressed for time, read them aloud. But I just think that there's a lot of value in that, the way the brain works when you're actually handwriting something down. And I know that throughout the day, yesterday, some of these things were coming up of like, who do I want to be and how do I be that person now? Even if I don't have the results yet, how do I be the person now? Like if I want to be a millionaire, like, why do I want to be a millionaire? What does she look like? What is that person I want to meet? And then how do I get to be her today? But anyway, I wanted to read one of these affirmations to you. There's 4 of them. I think that they're really good. So this one's the developing level 10 self-confidence. I am just as worthy, deserving, and capable of achieving everything that I want in every area of my life as any other person on earth. The only thing that separates me from the most extraordinary life I can imagine is my level of commitment to being the person I need to be to achieve everything I want. From this moment on, I am 100% committed to my personal development each day so I can create and sustain the levels of success that I truly want and deserve. I commit now to schedule and follow through today with the necessary actions that will ensure that I create the extraordinary life I get to live. From this moment on, I give up being perfect for being authentic. I will be myself. I will love myself, and others will too. It's like I woke up this morning and I was tired. I stayed up till 11 last night reading, and the last thing I wanted to do was to go for a run. I was like, well, but I knew that I committed to myself to do exercise first, because that does take up a little bit more time. So if I go ahead and knock out that exercise before I even have time to think about it, then I can take my shower if I want to take a shower, jump into reading and keep things moving, because we can't come here until it's light out. And this is something that's really important to me, is to come and take Siku on this walk. It's so good for both of us. It feels like a little bit of a reset each morning. So knowing that those are priorities for me meant that I brushed my teeth, I, rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, put on my running clothes, got my 10 Couch to 10K app going, and got it done. And I felt so much better after getting that done. And I know that it sets the tone for the rest of my day. Good morning, good morning. It's 5:07. I'm up. I brushed my teeth. It's day 4. I'm going to do some yoga because my legs were very sore yesterday. So I think I'm going to find a yoga with Adrian that stretches out my hamstrings a little bit, and we're going to get this day going. Let me see your feather, Siku. Siku, let me see your feather. Can you come here? Come here. I put a goose feather on his harness. He sniffed it beforehand. There are the silly gooses that are always here. There's a white goose and like a gray goose. I think that it's male and female, but I don't know. And then, all the Canadian geese have flown in. And that little white spot right there is an egret, I believe. Seagull lost his feather, so I took it for my own hat. It's such a nice morning. It's in the 50s, and I will use any excuse to wear a winter hat. I love beanies. So, really enjoying this morning. We're on our walk. I was feeling a little stressed this morning because I took yesterday off so I could go to a fiddler's convention with my parents. It was fun. We didn't realize that the main stage wasn't going to be until the evening, so they had some craft stands up and some food trucks, so we mostly just did that. And then there was a competition going on of some sorts, so there were some groups that were practicing and playing, so we did get to hear some music while we were there. But that doesn't mean that today I get to focus on some work. And I was feeling a little stressed about that this morning, especially as my morning was drawing out and I was just chatting with my mom and feeling stressed that I wasn't getting working. But this walk always just helps calm me and gives me the space to slow down and think about how to tackle my day and make sure I'm getting everything done, because I do need to do some client work to make sure I'm not falling further behind with her. So I'm going to do that, and then I get to edit this video so that I can publish it and have it posted by tomorrow. And yeah, so it's going to be a good day. I'm going to get a plan in place and get it all done. All right. It's Saturday, day 4, and I just wanted to wrap up some thoughts from my first week. It's not full a week because I started on Wednesday, but I'm going to edit this video this afternoon and get it posted up Sunday. So I just want to wrap up what was working, what's not working. I'm honestly loving it, the headspace that it puts me in, especially the type of affirmations that I'm doing here that are very who I get to be, to have the success of my life, to live the vision of my life, health, wealth, all aspects, has just been so powerful to me. To when I'm going out in the world, I'm remembering those affirmations because of the way that they're structured. And I believe in the book he talks about how you can structure your own affirmations that way. I'm just using the level 10 ones that I found online associated with the Miracle Morning. And it's just been so powerful. And I know that as I continue doing this throughout the month, that who I am and how I'm showing up is going to shift, and it's going to become more and more in line with the vision of the person that I want to be, and the things that I get to accomplish every day. So I really love the affirmations part. The exercise I feel really good about, just getting that movement in every day and just right out of bed, keeping my word to myself and going ahead and doing that. I do want to play around with what that exercise looks like so that it's supporting my health goals as well. I have committed to running 3 days a week, doing my Couch to 10K, and committed to doing that whole Couch to 10K program. I keep starting it and then restarting it and all of that, so I'm just committing to doing that, and I feel really good. And on my run days I just feel amazing. But I do want to sprinkle in some arm workouts, some weightlifting. I know that especially at my age, weight-bearing exercises are just really, really powerful for bone health and a lot of different aspects of health for women as we age. So just getting clear on my health goals and aligning those exercises, and knowing that this morning routine is probably going to extend longer so that I can get the exercise that I want in the morning, since that will be my main exercise for the day. So maybe that's a 45-minute walk, and knowing that on those days that I'm doing a 45-minute walk, I'm probably going to start work later. And then for my silence and my visualization, I get a little bit of that silence on my walks with Siku, but then I'm doing a money meditation because as part of silence, he said that you could pick a guided meditation. I don't know if that's in alignment with the actual purpose of the silence, but I really love the money meditation. My goal for this 30 days, the focus in my life that I'm really focusing on is career and finances and having fun, because I've noticed that when I normally focus on career, I tend to hedge out some of the more fun aspects of my life and the adventurous stuff that just really lights me up. So finding space for both of those things is my goal over this next 30 days. So that money meditation and the ideal day meditation has been really powerful for me, and I'm really focusing on being consistent, not just in doing meditation, but in the guided meditations I'm following. So just doing this very particular money meditation as well as the ideal meditation. And after I do those meditations, I can just feel the joy and the lightness in my life. So I have this. It's just kind of a list that came with the PDF that I downloaded of you mark off like the things that you got done every day. And the first 6 are those the miracle morning habits I'm creating, but I also added send out 12 pitch letters to HVAC companies because that's a business that I'm working on. That's what I'm focusing on this 30 days, is getting some HVAC clients so I can get some more consistent income coming in and give myself space to focus on growing my YouTube channel and my own brand and offers that will tie into this. I also put down practice my ukulele, which I have not done at all this week, so I will want to do that maybe over the weekend. A fun activity. I did 2 of those so far. I went to a coffee shop to work one day. It's my favorite coffee shop. I love it so much. And then I went to the Fiddlers Convention with my parents yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And then I want to start writing down my story, so getting in the habit of writing that down because I'd really like to write a memoir-style book. So I haven't done that yet. I need to make space to do that more. But every day I did do my silence, my affirmations, my visualization, my exercise, my reading, and my journaling. And I'm really loving that and having gratitude. And when I was out with my parents the other day, that really came up, that reminder of not being judgmental, that I don't know what's going on with other people that are around me, and if I was in their same shoes, I might make the same decisions that they made. I tend to not be a super judgmental person, but when I could feel myself maybe getting frustrated with what was going on around me or wanting to be judgmental about how other people live their life, it was really cool to have that reminder, as well as one of the meditations that I does talks about being grateful for something that we usually forget about, like something as simple as being able to walk or being able to breathe. And that, I think that's such a beautiful practice, to not just be grateful for the obvious things, or even being more specific gratitude in like, oh, I love going for a walk in the park, but like specifically, I love seeing the Canadian geese come in. It's one of my favorite things about coming home to my parents and coming to this park is when the Canadian geese come. They're just dramatic, and they come splashing into the water and honking, and I just love them. I think they're so cool. So having that specificity in my gratitude, but even more so in the things that I take for granted. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this journey with you guys. I hope you guys feel inspired to maybe incorporate some of these habits into your own morning routine. And remember that your morning routine doesn't have to look like anybody else's, right? Maybe it looks like just picking one of these habits to do, so that you wake up in the morning and you do something for you right in the morning, and you just pay attention to whether that works for you or not. And I hope that you have a beautiful weekend or week whenever you're watching this, and I can't wait to get this published and get to know you guys better. So see you next week.